Hi everyone, and greetings from the wasteland, and welcome to our weekly check of new releases, hopefully headed to an independent record store near you. Now, as always, we're just touching on the highlights of this because there are just way too many to list in such a short time. So if there's something that you think is coming out that you want us to check on, feel free to contact us here at the store and we will do some digging. But onward we go to the releases scheduled for release on Friday, August 19th. Brand new stuff from the Las Vegas band Five Finger Death Punch on tap for the 19th. This is the 9th studio album, and it is entitled Afterlife. Looks like there are a couple of different variations of this coming out, including a double LP on white vinyl and an indie exclusive version on yellow vinyl. The Five Finger Death Punch Afterlife yellow vinyl will list for about $35, as well as the white vinyl version, also $35. New stuff also from Panic at the Disco. This is called Viva Las Vengeance, and this is the first new music from Panic at the Disco since 2018. So this brand new studio album from Panic at the Disco on a couple of different variations, a black vinyl version listing for about $25, and a red vinyl independent store indie exclusive for $25 also. New stuff from Demi Lovato. This is her 8th studio album, and it's called Holy FVCK. Let you fill in the blank on that, but the proper title is with a V. According to our description, this 16-track album is a sonic journey grounded in Demi's rock and pop roots. There is a black vinyl version coming out listing for around $30, and an indie exclusive red vinyl version listing for about $33. For the second time in 2 weeks, we've got some live music coming from Blondie. This album is simply entitled Live. Limited edition on white vinyl. This concert was recorded in February of 1999 at New York's Town Hall, and our description says it brilliantly captured the aptly named live music from Blondie. It includes all of her classics such as Atomic, The Tide is High, One Way or Another, Call Me, and Heart of Glass. As mentioned, this is a limited edition 180-gram white vinyl LP, double LP actually, in gatefold packaging, with original photographs from that show in 1999. And we're also going to include this in the new releases, although technically it is not. But this is an album called And, or Ampersand, I guess, however you want to look at it, but technically And. This is by Eric Church, and it was part of his 2021 collection called Heart and Soul. Now, commercially, Church released Heart and then Soul, but then the Ampersand, or And, was only released to his fan club via the Eric Church website. So now they are finally making this available commercially, and this is technically an EP. It is a 6-track that kind of bridges that Heart, and Soul. So And by Eric Church will list for about $24. There's a whole lot of stuff on the reissue front coming up for the week of August 19th, starting off with a couple from the Rolling Stones. Here is Their Satanic Majesty's Request, originally released, of course, in 1967. Quite a psychedelic album by the Stones. This new reissue is coming from Abco Records and will be on 180-gram vinyl. But our description does not say, however, whether or not the cover is the recreation of the 3D or lenticular cover that the original had been released with. If you are interested in this reissue, let us know. I'll do some digging and hopefully have an answer by next week whether or not this has that lenticular cover. Also being reissued by the Stones is Beggar's Banquet from 1968. This one, of course, featuring some of the great Stones hits, Street Fightin' Man and Sympathy for the Devil, being reissued on 180-gram black vinyl, and that will list for about $30. By the way, Sympathy, if I didn't mention, also lists for around $30. Now here's a fun one involving the Stones and their blues roots. This is Live at the Checkerboard Lounge in Chicago from 1981. According to our descriptions, the Rolling Stones, in the middle of their Mammoth American tour in 1981, arrived in Chicago for a 3-night stand. Long influenced by the Chicago blues, as evidenced by their early work, the band paid a visit to Buddy Guy's club, the Checkerboard Lounge, to see the legendary bluesman Muddy Waters perform. And as you can imagine, it didn't take long before Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, and Ronnie Wood hopped up on stage to join Muddy Waters. And throughout the night, they were joined by others, including Buddy Guy, Junior Wells, and Lefty Diz. So this album was originally released back in 2012, and the other vinyl versions released in that year contained a DVD of the show as well. So this reissue is coming on red and white vinyl, double LP, so one red, one white. This list's a little bit hefty, coming in with a suggested price of $50. Some really great prog rock also coming on the 19th. This is Death Walks Behind You by the Atomic Rooster. Coming from Cleopatra Records, it's on limited edition red and gold haze vinyl. This reissue of the 1970 masterpiece by the UK prog rock band features their classic lineup, on which most would agree is the band's best album. And again, that's according to our description. So the Atomic Roosters' Death Walks Behind You limited edition red gold haze will list for about $33. The Coops getting a reissue of Killer coming out on Friday the 19th from Friday Music. 180 gram audiophile vinyl, and it is being billed as an anniversary edition as well. So Alice Cooper's Killer reissue listing for about $40. A picture disc on tap as well. This is Chronic Town from REM, a 40th anniversary edition of the debut EP from REM, featuring Gardening at Night and many, many more. Now, this is available on a double-sided picture disc featuring the album's iconic gargoyle cover and a 1982 image of the band on the backside. So REM's Chronic Town EP picture disc will list for about $36. Another cool Oingo Boingo reissue on tap also. This is Good for Your Soul. This was the third studio album by Oingo Boingo, originally released in 1983. This new reissue is a limited edition tan and yellow, kind of a swirl-looking color in there as well, and that will list for about $25. Let's get going with some punk here as well on the reissue side. This is PhD, stands for Prison, Hospital, and Debt, by Rat Scabies, the legendary co-founder of the punk icon band The Damned. So these are 11 original tracks and one Louis Prima cover recorded over the course of several years. I do believe that this was originally released around 2018, so we're including this in the reissue section. So PhD by Rat Scabies will list for about $22. Be Here Now by Oasis, also scheduled for a reissue. This is the third release in the Oasis Chasing the Sun 1993 through 97 series. Originally came out in October of 2016. Looks like this will be on double LP silver vinyl, and the Oasis Be Here Now will list for about $39. Got a quintet of reissues from the band War on tap, and again, we're going to cross our fingers, as it has been the case lately, where they have multiple reissues coming out from a band at once. Doesn't seem like all of them can always make it in time, but in case they do, here's what we've got to look forward to from War. The reissues include Why Can't We Be Friends, listing for about $25. The World is a Ghetto, also for $25. Deliver the Word, also for $25. No word whether or not this has the die-cut cover like the original does. We'll have to kind of wait and see on that. Also, All Day Music in that batch, and War, their third album, all of those listing again for $25. We also have a nice batch of greatest hits and or tribute albums coming, and one soundtrack. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss this soundtrack we're wrapping up with. But first off, we've got a big one from Elvis. This is the Worldwide Gold 50 Gold Award Hits Volume 1. Coming from Music on Vinyl, this is a limited edition 180-gram gold and black marbled colored vinyl box set. Wow, does this thing look immense. Limited edition of 2,500 individually numbered copies, and as we mentioned, on gold and black marbled vinyl, and it's audiophile because it is, of course, coming from Music on Vinyl, in a deluxe lift-off box set with a 20-page photo album. So this is close to what the original was, I believe, minus the colored vinyl and the Music on Vinyl audiophile side. This 4-album set was originally released in 1970 as his 38th album. The set itself peaked at number 45 on the Billboard 200 chart and was certified double platinum not long after its release. Going to be a little hefty, being that it's an import from Music on Vinyl, but this set from Elvis, Worldwide Gold, 50 Gold Award Hits Volume 1 on gold and black marbled vinyl 4-LP box set, will list for about $115. Kind of a greatest hits, but really a set of remixes from Madonna. This is called Finally Enough Love. Our description says it's a new career-spanning compilation, which includes Madonna's favorite remixes, rare and unreleased version, and all newly remastered songs. Now, this vinyl version is an abridged 16-track version of that overall 50-track collection, but this is simply entitled Finally Enough Love. So again, this is just a 16-track version of that overall remix set by Madonna. Double LP black vinyl will list for about $35, and there is an indie exclusive version of this as well, double LP. Looks like it doesn't say what color vinyl, sorry about that, but it is an indie exclusive version and will list for about $35 also. Thought this one was cool at first, and then I did a little deeper read into the description. This is called I Want Candy by Bow Wow Wow. This is an essential, again, according to our description here, an essential career retrospective of the 80s rock sensation band Bow Wow Wow. Now here's where it gets tricky. The description says it features freshly recut versions of the band's massively popular single I Want Candy, as well as fan favorites Do You Want to Hold Me and C30, etc., along with thrilling live versions of Go Wild in the Country and Mile High Club and more. So this is an 11-track set, some live, some studio, but as the description says, these are newly recut, which means that these are not the original versions that you'd come to think that they might be. So I Want Candy by Bow Wow Wow will list for about $30, and again, that's on pink and black striped vinyl. A double LP solo career retrospective called Once Bitten, the CBS collection from Ian Hunter, of course, from Mott the Hoople, made his name there, but then left to record over 20 solo albums. So this collection from Ian Hunter features 22 tracks from Hunter's 4 solo albums recorded for CBS Records between 1975 and 1983, and of course includes the hit single Once Bitten, Twice Shy. Double LP on black vinyl, this will list for about $47. 2 tributes to pass along, and these seem to be all the rage again of late. This first one's called Tales from Yesterday, a tribute to Yes. So various artists, including Steve Howe, a Yes alum in there as well, Peter Banks, Steve Morris from Deep Purple is here as well, Robert Barry from Ambrosia, and many more. Cover art for this was created by legendary graphic designer Roger Dean, who designed all of Yes's classic album covers. So this is available as a compilation for the first time on vinyl, double LP, coming from Cleopatra Records, as we said, on brown and white vinyl. So a Tales from Yesterday tribute to Yes will list for about $37. Another fun one, a punk tribute to Nirvana. This is called Punk in Bleach. Various artists on green splatter vinyl. Now these songs have been bouncing around for a while. I've seen and heard a few of them before, but this is kind of a cool compilation all together, but includes performances by such punk veterans as the UK Subs, the Vibrators, the Ramones, and next-gen bands like Agent Orange, Total Chaos, Dr. No, and more. All of these punk bands coming together to do punk versions of the grunge stuff from Nirvana. So again, Punk in Bleach, a tribute to Nirvana, on green splatter vinyl will list for about $27. And finally today, this is a fun one, and it does, yes, include the Dickies song, but the rest of it's going to be soundtrack score. This is Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the original soundtrack. What a great movie that is, and a cool cover coming from Waxwork Records and Light in the Attic. Killer Clowns from Outer Space, according to our description, have finally landed at Waxwork Records, and after much anticipation, they're thrilled to present the official 1988 original motion picture soundtrack for the very first time on vinyl. So the original score to Killer Clowns from Outer Space kicked off by the classic 80s horror movie theme track Killer Clowns from Outer Space by the California punk band The Dickies. The Nightmare Merry-Go-Round continues with a smattering of menacing electronic brass sections, electric guitar, bombastic drum machine beats, and harpsichord combined with sci-fi synth elements to capture the ultra-specific origins of the antagonist clowns from outer space. The Killer Clowns from Outer Space, mind you. So this double LP, again released for the first time on vinyl, is 180-gram cotton candy and popcorn-colored vinyl, whatever that is. Comes with deluxe packaging, new artwork, and an old-style tip-on jacket with a matte coating. And it also includes a 12x12 art print and liner notes from the Killer Clowns co-creators. So again, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the original soundtrack on colored vinyl, includes a poster, lists about $48, but come on, this is a fun one. So that is a quick look at the highlights for the new releases due for Friday, August 19th. If you see something you'd like us to try to get a hold of, please let us know here at the store as soon as possible. Our orders go in on Sunday night. That is for your best chance to get them for that following Friday release. Please remember that sometimes shipping delays and/or production problems could affect the availability of these titles. Please make sure you're subscribed, and we will talk to you next time from Radio Wasteland Records in Midland. Thanks.